One of the biggest arguments in the art community is whether Eastern or Western art is better. Comics, manga, which is best for you? The answer is, it's all up to the creator. That's the person who makes the style special. You give a novice the pen and paper, they won't do much. You give a professional, a master, a pen and paper, and obviously they make exactly what you need them to. This video is made to help you find your style a lot quicker and level up and not make as many mistakes as the rest of us artists have, unfortunately. So make sure that you stick around to the end of the video because you don't want to miss out on any of these tips. It takes you answering one of these questions to get you where you want to be within the next couple months. I want to say thank you to those who suggested the characters for this video. Their names will be listed here. You too can do the same. Just let us know in the comment section below which characters you want to see in an up and coming video and what you want to see on the channel for the future. You may have realized that drawing all the time wasn't enough. Just seeing something and copying it wasn't good enough. You needed more. And what I want you to do is have a purpose now. I want you to come up with a game plan of what you want and what you'll like to do and go after it. That's why when you develop your style in this video, it's going to take you to the next level because you're not going to just be like everyone else. There are certain questions I had to ask myself when finding my style. The reason being is because this style has to be suitable for you. Over time, it will definitely develop, change a little bit, but still have an underlying basis of what you really started. So I don't want you to be overly discouraged. Just really get started. So the first question I asked myself was, what kind of art did I like growing up? And how much of it did I practice? The reason being, there are different art styles from different parts of the world, not just Eastern and Western art. There's artists from France, Spain, Italy, all over the world, Africa, New Zealand. So there are styles that can be emulated from so many designers and creators. So I asked myself, what did I practice and what did I like? I had a small idea of the things that I was already attracted to, the art style that I naturally gravitated towards. And it's the same thing for you. Typically, there's an art style that got you into either comics, animations, newspaper strips, you know, the comic books, almost like the Boondocks. I don't know if you guys remember the old Boondocks in the newspaper, but there are different styles and you can find that art in different places. So what got you into art? What was the thing that motivated you or really pushed you as a youngin' to really like the styles and to want to draw the characters yourself? Did you grab a pen and paper and try to draw Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Superman? There's a numerous amounts of characters that you could have really tried to draw when you were younger. So what did you do? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, who are your favorite artists today? Over time, things change. What I liked 7 years ago isn't really the same as what I like today. The people I'm now influenced by is obviously much broader than it was years past because my artistic library, my creative library grew. So I'm able to pull from more artists and from more sources as reference, inspiration, and things that I can learn. So realize that over time, you'll find more things to add to your toolbox. There are certain artists that you're gravitating towards now. Who are they? And what did you learn or what did you see when you looked at their work? Maybe a couple years ago, you didn't really take art as seriously as you do today. So you want to get started and work on the style, but you want to find what you like. Remember, your art style, you're going to do this over and over and over again. You're going to draw like this, maybe 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours on just one illustration. So you want to make sure that this is something that you not only like, but you really enjoy drawing and you can sit there and work on it for an amount of time that doesn't really get boring. I understand we take breaks here and there. I play my, my games here in between what I'm doing, but it's a real quick break and I get back on it. So I got to make sure my art style is pleasing to me. These are the reasons why you're asking these kind of questions. The next question I want you to ask yourself is, who will your art be targeted towards and who do you want to be around? The reason being is once you start to find the art that you like, there's a group of people who will not only like your work, they'll share your work, they'll leave comments, they'll give you suggestions because they are a part of that style. Now there's the horror, there is the sequential art, there's painting, there's costume designs, there is makeup. Art is very broad. So when we're talking about your artistic style, it's not just pen and paper, it's all of those things coming together. Your style is the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you think, the way you interpret what you're believing and the things that's in your head that you put it either on paper or you put it in front of yourself or others. So your style is almost like a way of life and the way in which you interact with others. Remember, you don't need to speak the same language. Two people don't have to communicate to appreciate each other's work. There is actually a strong connection that you can build with people just by them seeing your work, sharing your work, and you taking something from them. So there's a beautiful connection that you can develop when you're around the right people. Not only that, you can learn from others. So not only do you want to know who your art is targeted towards, you want to be around like-minded creators. Find people who might have a similar style to you. They do not need to do the same exact thing. If you're into manga or if you're into comics, it's still sequential art. So be around people who like sequential art and you'll learn and push each other. You don't have to do the same exact thing to get a similar result. Too many ways to skin a cat. You just want to make sure that maybe that's not the best reference. I don't really like that one. There's a lot of different ways to get the job done. There are plenty of artists that I've ran into within the last several years whose art style is either better or different from mine. And what I do is I build a good personal relationship with them and I pick their brain. Whether someone's a better artist than me or if there's certain things that I can help them more than they can help me with. It's all about that kind of conversation and sharing of the minds that you can have. I'm not saying you tell people your deepest ideas for your characters, but ask them, hey, what helped you draw that this way? Or what did you do? Or what were you thinking when you was illustrating this? So you can put yourself in a similar mind state and you can learn from another individual. You're never too old to learn. The man who thinks he can't learn anymore is the man who's a fool. The next question you want to ask yourself is you want to imagine which language would your art be in? So the reason being is, yes, art does not need a language, but there's typically something associated with words and illustrations that really make this beautiful connection. And what I mean by that is if you're doing sequential art, you can not only learn the different ways that people read, the different orientations, but also you can make your work where it can be easily translated. One of the best things that I've seen is people will print the book in their language, the language that they speak, build enough money and hire a translator. While others, they want to join another organization or they want to adopt another person's culture without having an accurate understanding, knowing how to properly translate their work. So they're using ideas from other cultures without really being informed and having the right people around them, where they're adopting other people's beliefs and ideas, but not really adopting their own. So before you try to jump into other people's language, find what you can take from yours, hire someone that can help you translate. Not only do you have a special story that you can personally tell, but you might not be accurate enough in trying to depict someone else's culture where you're adding a little too much and now you're diluting the message, or you don't really have the best understanding of another culture. So take the time to work on what you know and then expand it over time. So not only will you build a good following and fan base, there's going to be people who know you, who's very similar to you, that's going to come back for your work over and over again. And then over time, you can have the right team and you can expand things. But don't try to jump into another person's culture and don't try to overlook your own. There's something special in that, and take your culture and try to run with it. And the last thing I want you to ask yourself is, when you're finding your stylist, what are you willing to add to it? The reason being is you want to know that not only are you going to work with this style, you want to make it your own. You want to develop it in a way in which people see it. They know who drew it without seeing a signature or seeing a company associated by it. They can look at your art style and say, hey, this art was done by this, that, and the third. You just want your art to be undeniable and special in a way in which people can recognize it. I understand it's great to draw like the artist that you love, but the artist you love is the original. Why go for the knockoff when the original will give me better work? You got to make your own path, your own lane. So find what you can add to the art style. Take the basis of what you like and just keep adding things to it. It's the recipe that your grandma gave you, and what you're doing is you're kind of upgrading it over time, adding things that works better. You know, you're not using the same exact thing. In some cases, you want to do the same exact recipe, but for the most part, add your own spices to some degree. You know, make it your own. And over time, it becomes truly special. Not only do they find another creator that they like, they actually find another personality in your work. There's something special. There's almost a love language in someone's art, which really connects them to other people. When I see one of my favorite artists work, I smile, I screenshot their work, and I put it in a file to the side where I want to look back on it and really learn from it, get some reference, and really just make it special for me. You know, what can I take from this and really put my art on the next level? You want to find your style? Come up with a little schedule and be consistent. Draw every day if you have to. Draw every day if you can. It can just be 15 to 20 minutes, but just think about how quickly 15 and 20 minutes can add up from every single day. Maybe some days you can draw 4 to 5 hours. With the pandemic happening, a lot of people can draw for a lot longer. Or maybe you can't, but you want to still find that 10 to 15 minutes a day where you can practice or draw something and try to complete a piece of work. Completion will definitely help build your confidence and help you develop your style better, because now you're drawing everything you need and you're practicing it all. You're practicing how to draw hands, feet, arms, eyes. So you want to be consistent, practice often, and complete an illustration. I cannot stress it enough. Complete an illustration, and you'll see how quickly not only will you develop your style, but your style will grow to a place that you couldn't even imagine. So I want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by and being a part of this conversation. We're here to create content that you can find value in. So make sure that you like the video and you actually share it to other artists and people that you know. I want to say thank you once again to those who suggested the characters in this video. So make sure that you do the same. Let us know in the comment section below either what you want to see next or the characters you want to see, and hopefully we can get to it. And that would definitely be amazing for you guys to feel even closer to the community. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button and you really elbow drop the notification bell, because you know you don't want to miss these videos. You definitely don't want to miss these videos. And Dr. Rose out. Peace.